Within a 24-hour period, I was on a plane to Thailand. We're already into February, that second month of the year. And I just wanted to reflect on the craziness that has been happening over the last couple of weeks. Basically, this is going to be a quick little video journal. If you don't know, my name is Vaughn Littlejohns. I'm an educational leader, currently a deputy principal and a growth coach. What I do on the side is I teach people how to use and leverage technology to improve their efficiency in their work, but also through that growth framework where it's focusing on relationships first, but here's the proven systems to make things work. Anyway, basically this last couple of weeks has been wild for me. Within a 24-hour period, I was on a plane to Thailand, and within that time, I was basically had an interview to then go overseas and check out a school for 10 days. And that was pretty unreal. It was an experience I did not think was possible. And what was amazing about it was basically I was welcomed with open arms for those 10 days, shown around and experienced the community and the culture of this school. We are still in negotiation, so nothing's finalized yet. However, the experience was pretty amazing. The position's really about technology innovation and making sure everyone's aligned and unified into the future goals of that school. I did not expect it. I was ready to gear up, ready for my deputy job, only a week and a bit away. And then next minute I'm on a flight to Thailand. So nevertheless, that was a pretty awesome experience to go and basically fly into Chiang Mai and actually go and experience Thai culture, cuisine, and the community of the amazing, friendly Thai people. So we'll see where that goes. But on the other side of things, at the moment, I've just launched my second cohort for my Time to Create community. And what that is, it's basically a place where technology teachers are coming together and I'm coaching them through my frameworks that I've built over just under a decade of teaching and learning, and giving them my systems, giving them my frameworks, giving them all my resources, basically just so they are set up for success. Last year I had some amazing feedback from the people that were in that community. They were just going, wow, I can't believe you put this together. I can't believe you're giving this away. I can't believe you're giving so much time to us to actually help us through. Said, look, we are better together. And that is a key phrase that I like to come back to anytime I think, should I not do this? Well, will it help them? Yes. Well, I'm going to do it. And that was really the crazy thing that has happened last year. Now, coming to the second cohort, I found that I've got a few more people joined in. However, teachers are so time poor. They actually haven't managed to get into the actual system, haven't get into the program or our community yet. I haven't even been able to jump on a phone call with them just because it's the start of the year and everyone is so time poor. So that is the plan for this week, is to touch base with those people and just check in, what can I do to help you out? And the crazy thing along those lines was, look, they reached out to me through my sort of systems that they've seen what I've developed over the years. It's a university lecturer, design technology teacher, and now a deputy. But the cool thing is when we actually start engaging, we can actually build systems and actually make a sustainable impact over time. And I'm just thinking about it because really it is one of those core problems. I just can't believe it hasn't been solved yet in education. We're getting closer with the versions of AI where we're getting to a point where it's called AGI, or artificial general intelligence, which technically is on par with human capability. Now, we're not there yet. However, with ChatGPT and DeepSeek and all these other AIs that just literally fighting it out for tooth and nail for market share, that the tasks that we're going to do are going to be rapidly improved and the efficiency rate is insane. So for an example, when I went to Thailand for 10 days, I was in meetings for about 4 days, from 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock to about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I wrote about 50 pages of notes on what was going on for all these different executive teams. And instead of summarizing that all myself, I basically took some photos of it, I put it through my AI that I'm using at the moment, which is Claude, got it to summarize what my key points were, summarize where the key areas of growth are and what needs to be aligned. Ultimately, I used it for strategic planning. So now when I go and have a conversation with the head of that school, I can clearly communicate where we are, where we need to be, and how my skills can help get there. Because ultimately, we need to work smarter and not harder. Education is about improving time management for people. If we are teaching something to somebody and it's not improving their life by removing the length of time it takes to do something, or it's giving them a skill that they can actually leverage, get paid for, build relationships with, whatever it might be, then there's no point in doing it. So with the AI that I used, it was just so much easier. I could build rapport, build relationships with those people by being present in that moment, taking some notes by hand, and then later do all the work rather than sitting there and typing it out. Now, some of you might go, oh, look, you can actually just put an AI recorder on. But the problem with that is people aren't going to open up if they feel like they're being recorded. You know, it's taken me a long time to get relatively comfortable sitting in front of this camera. I'm still not. Like, literally someone came over just before and I turned it off. Like, I'm not at that stage of confidence in regards to the camera yet, especially around other people. However, that is a skill that I'm learning to do a little bit better. Anyways, the AI that we're using at the moment is pretty cool to do that summarization, and eventually we'll be building out tasks so it can actually start actioning things for us and reducing that administrative burden. It's really cool in that sense that we can leverage the technology so it actually works for us rather than against us. Now, I'm hoping my mic is still connected. Who knows at the moment, but I'm just out for a hike at the moment along the Murray South Coast track. This is close to home. This is amazing country, and I thought I'd just jump on here and have a quick little conversation, because really this year I want to focus on longer form content, reflecting content rather than authority content, because I feel like that is where I can be consistent, reflecting on what's happening, reflecting on what I'm doing, rather than reflecting on the things I'm learning as an expert, because ultimately we're all experts at different things. It depends on what you need to communicate and collaborate on. And the last thing I wanted to just reflect on is the coaching accreditation program I'm in at the moment. So I'm doing a program through Growth Coach International, which is all for training educational leaders on how to have coaching conversations to inspire, direct, and lead their staff. And I've been doing that for the last nearly 6 months. I'm coming to the end of this program at the moment, but just a couple of days ago, I had a coaching conversation, just 25 minutes long. I'd never met the person before, but the amazing thing was I was able to build enough rapport that we could get through. And one of the really interesting parts of that conversation was all about culture. And what Ali was talking about was, how do we build a culture where people want to contribute? They want to actually say, hey, look, I'm happy to take on that responsibility. I'm happy to lead this thing. I'm happy to do this, without being told you need to do that. Because when we start dictating things, we look at our motivational scale, that comes right back down, right at the lower end, where we're using authority to dictate rather than autonomy to go and lead themselves. So we started talking about this, and we started using questions, and I started using my framework to actually break it down, or the growth coaching framework to break it down. And ultimately we found that it wasn't necessarily about the events that were happening, but it was the embedded culture in the team. And it's quite a large team. There's about 12 people in there that were doing extracurricular programs and sports activities and things like that. So one of the cool things that we did was, I just remembered there's power in the pause. What does it mean? Basically, when we got to a point where I would ask a question, don't double up on the question, just wait, listen, wait longer, keep waiting until they answer, because ultimately that gave them time to process and really have those aha moments where you can go, oh, this is not about the activities, this is about how we actually build collaborative culture as a team. And I asked a question, what does it usually look like in the past? When has it worked? Has it been a written form when people have provided a resource, or is it having a conversation? And the interesting thing he actually said was, it was when we had a conversation. It wasn't about the actual physical things that we had in place, it was more the conversations that we were having in that authentic, passion-filled way where we can say, oh yeah, that would be amazing, I'll do this thing, you can do that thing, and just share collaboration together. And we got some really amazing feedback, and I'm really appreciative of the progress that I'm making, because as educators, sometimes it's really hard for us to quiet what coaching what's called the advice monster, where we go in and we just try to solve everyone's problems, but rather they inherently have the solutions. We just need to tell them and give them the space through those questions, rather than just telling them what to do. Because ultimately, you probably know if you tell someone to do something, they're going to not do it. They're going to go, no, I'm not doing that, I'm not listening to you, why would I? And that is really the power of those conversations, those questions that we put. And the last question I asked him is, what has become clearer to you now after we've had this conversation? And I waited, and he unpacked the ahas that he was having the entire way, so he can have clear, actionable steps of where to next. And for me, that was super powerful, because that showed that the coaching program that I'm in is working, but the language that we're using is solutions focused. And it was really cool to actually see that growth in somebody and see their leadership capacity sort of growing just in 25 minutes, which was nuts. So I'm going to leave the reflection journal here. If you've liked this content, tell me in the comments, yeah, that was pretty sweet, man. I'm happy for you to keep doing that. I'm just keen for some feedback. But at the moment, I'm going to keep doing it because I'm intending to show up a little bit more regularly on YouTube, because that, I feel, is where I'm going to actually be consistent. Because with doing all these other things, I feel that the short form for me right now is not using my time the most efficiently, rather than the long form. So anyway, effort equals results. I hope to see you in the next one. Remember, we are better together. If you want some help, there's a link in the bottom. You can click the community and you can join the waitlist, but we won't open up for a little bit. So follow along and hope to see you soon. Catch you later.